Phone. Yeah, so you use like the 9 to 46s?
On that particular
on
string.
that
But every other guitar I have, I'm pretty much a straight 10.
That's me. I use 10s on most everything that's like regular tuning or tuned down to E flat or even drop D or drop C sharp.
Yeah.
Anything lower than that, I'll use like a 10 to 52, which is a hybrid sort of thing where you got the much thicker lower strings. That's good for drop D also, but I don't mind having a little bit of flex for some of the little bit of drop tunings. But
I like it a little bit chunky on the bottom end.
yes,
You know,
like a steak. Yeah, I like having a little. I have some songs in my EP that I'm gonna do that are like in drop C. So I tried some of the really thick strings. I actually didn't like it because it was sort of like normal tension, like you would expect, but I was in like drop C. But I didn't really like that it was still really tight. I like the flex of those drop tunings. It was texty. It'll be fine.
So on the strings,
Yeah.
now I noticed that there is a difference between the materials that are used for electric guitar strings and acoustic guitar strings.
Yeah, and even with electric guitar strings, you have various alloys. You know, there's like pro steels that, you know, and then there's different amounts of nickel. The most common is sort of nickel wound. And then even acoustic usually is bronze of some type. And even then, there's phosphor bronze and there's 80-20 bronze. So they have two different alloys within that. But yeah, definitely between electric and acoustic, you've got, you know, generally you've got nickel or some steel type of combination, or you've got bronze for the acoustic stuff.
Gotcha. So how does that affect the tone? I mean,
I think it's a sound thing, really. Most acoustics, you have a warmer, earthier kind of tone in general compared to electric guitars. Or electric guitars are expected to be kind of bright and kind of project a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main reason why, you know, nickel strings and steel strings on an acoustic, it doesn't really sound like an acoustic anymore. So I think it has to do, well, and of course with the pickups, the guitar pickups, you know, bronze strings probably don't transfer as well electrically, vibration-wise, through the pickups to be re-amplified. So I think that has a lot to do with it, really.
You know, I hear, and this is just one of those rock and roll rumor things you hear, but I heard that like in the 60s, they didn't have, of course, all of the innovation to guitar strings that we have today. But Hendrix was known to use banjo strings.
Yeah.
That's the rumor.
I've read that somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it was a gauge thing that he wanted, or it's like, it's what was at hand.
Yeah.
So he just made it work.
I think, you may disagree with this. If you do, then we've got a fantastic video because we can debate.
I hate debating. I'm always right, and no one ever agrees with me.
That's wrong.
See?
No, but basically, you know, I think that probably the most important thing, especially for the beginner, is that they just experiment and that they try to find what they think feels the best to them, as well as what sounds the best to them.
I agree with that. Yeah. That makes for a terrible debate.
Oh.
But yeah, I think you're right, and let me say why I think you're right, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. My reasons I think you're right.
I think you're right.
I think you're right because, you know, everybody's different. We all have different size hands. We all have different amounts of natural, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, what feels good to this one person might not feel good at all to another person because we're all individuals, you know. So, you know, 11s on acoustic might feel great for you as a beginner, or they might feel like, oh gosh, it's barbed wire.
Right.
Well, then you maybe need to try 10s.
Yeah.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with that because we are all different. Somebody's here.
There's a customer.
They're gonna buy orange amps.
And Chapman guitars.
And Chapman guitars. Who make guitars from Chapman guitars?
Hey, what's going on?
I knew it. Guilty. What's up, man?
It's the crew.
Hi guys.
Ryan.
Hey.
Ooh, we're videotaping.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I brought the crew.
Thanks.
Brought the crew. Don't carry on.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Upgraded. A dark
Maybe background noise. The John's like just to start.
No, we've been going.
Yeah,
for
we've
a
been
while.
going for a minute, so
All right.
We've been
it's all
going.
good.
Cut. All right, marker.
Yeah. Now this isn't the package Like when you go buy these in the store, that's not what it'll look like. This is just the super secret, mega confidential beta sample.
Yes.
These are for Tim.
Thank you, sir.
Now, the cool
Look
thing
for
about
a
these...
string review for me on these.
Yeah, well, then I won't give away any information.
No, please.
But,
Let's
well,
give them sneak previews.
the thing about it, like Chappers has already done a thing about it, and I've had my sample for a long time. I've used them. I haven't shot a video because I'm just got too much crap to do. Too much stuff to do. But here's the deal straight from the D'Addario guys. It's basically about the tensile strength. These are stronger strings. And the way he explained it to me, which made the most sense, was when they're tuned up to pitch, you know, like normal D'Addario strings, you know, nickel, they're at about 75% of their tensile strength at pitch. And then so when you go to do a big, huge mega bend, you know, it can mess with the tuning or they'll break, you know. Where the new ones are supposed to be, when they're at pitch, they're about 50% tensile strength. So if you do the big mega Guthrie Govan bends where he's like, woo, off the board, it comes back to pitch and they won't break and that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting. I've never had that problem with mine ever breaking really, but I have them on 2 of my guitars and so far, I'm still evaluating, but so far I like them.
Cool.
So I'll be interested to see what you think about those.
Yeah, I'm going to throw them on a guitar and give them a shot.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of strings out there, different alloys, different gauge. Every single gauge you could probably think of, somebody makes.
Yep, that's true.
I'm a D'Addario guy. We stock a lot of D'Addario here. I learned something new.
I'm a D'Addario guy too. I also watched an interview with the CEO recently where he revealed that information. So
did you know that on their acoustic guitars, that gauge, 11 to 52, Jim D'Addario invented that set?
Interesting.
Yeah, apparently I learned it too. Read an interview or something. Apparently no one else was making 11 to 52s in acoustic. So he took a bunch of individuals and made that set because he liked it. And then everyone else who tried it were like, yeah, these are great, so we should make these a set. And they did, and they became really, really popular. I read that, and I said, I should probably order some of these. And I ordered them, and every one that I've sold, people were like, yeah, these are cool. I'm like, awesome. And I haven't even tried them myself. I still have 12 on my acoustic. Because I play electric most of the time.
Did you know that D'Addario was the first company to, and I think the only company, to introduce the hex core on their wound strings?
I think I knew that.
Yeah, okay.
I think I might have read that.
All right,
somewhere.
fine.
I like D'Addario.
I do too.
There's lots of great brands out there. I'll tell you this is like the insider. Not a lot of insider. I can't give away the insider stuff. But from a store point of view.
Do tell us though.
From the point of view of a guy who owns a store, a retailer, because you sort of got the customer perspective on brands and products, and then you have like the retailer perspective, and then you have the manufacturer, their perspective. My perspective, not as a player but as a retailer, is D'Addario are very, very passionate about made in the USA and making sure that as much stuff as humanly possible that they do is all made in the USA. Very passionate, like excessively passionate about that. So I find that to be very cool, and also all my interactions with them as like a store owner to the sales, buying, purchasing stuff from them has been very good. Like my sales rep, John, is a great sales rep. That's all I'm going to say, because I have other companies I deal with, lots of great people. Sure. John's really amazing, and even though we're a very small store, he treats us like we're the biggest account that he has.
So, you know, I hear good things about D'Addario in general. A lot of people in the industry, in the music industry, that have dealt with D'Addario, they're always saying they've got the best sales reps, and you know, they really like their sales reps. And that's not discounting anybody from any of the other brands. Mm-hmm. It's just, you know, it's just good to have a reputation like that.
Yeah, it is. And to be fair, you know, for most, I deal with them directly.
Right.
Whereas a lot of stores, you go through like a third-party vendor, and you know, I could buy any brands of strings I want to from any company, and I could stock them. Going through like a third-party. With them, I can go direct. With other brands, I can go direct too.
Right.
But I just have the most experience with them, and I've never been disappointed by them. So that's pretty cool. And I've played, like, growing up playing guitar for 20-something years. I've played probably every brand of string out there. And this may not be a popular thing to say, because we just sung the praises of D'Addario. And like, sounds like you shot a D'Addario commercial. But really, I'm kind of one of those guys.
The player's choice.
You should get some. I'm kind of one of those guys that's like, strings are strings. I mean, they're not. There are differences, but I'm not overly sensitive about, I've got to have this string and this gauge and this whatever. Yeah, I have my preferences, but I don't like, oh, I can't play. I got to have blah, blah, blah strings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the minutia of the gear and the right. It's more like, shut up and play your guitar. You know what I mean? In the grand scheme of things, just play your guitar.
Yeah.
Everything else is, there's a place for it, but it's like, play your guitar. You know what I mean?
Now, I know one.
By D'Addario.
Yeah.
By D'Addario. By D'Addario.
One final point, and then we'll wrap this thing up. I did want to ask you: do you recommend for new players that may want to experiment with heavier gauges that they have them professionally installed by a local tech at their local music store? Or
yes, I think so. Because if most guitars come, most electric guitars and acoustic guitars, you know, like we said, acoustics come strung with 12s generally, and electrics usually come with 10s. That's just commonplace. Now, if you're maybe a little inexperienced and you want to try some of these like really low drop tunings, and you're going to go to a really thick gauge of strings, I probably would take it to a tech because you can put those strings on there, and you may have to adjust the height of the bridge so you don't get any string buzz. You may have to adjust the neck slightly, a slight truss rod adjustment, intonation. Is a pretty good idea if you're doing like major changes. Like if you're going from 9s to 10s.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, very, very minor. You might need a little tweak there, but if you're going from like 9s to 11s and standard tuning down to like, I don't know, C standard or something, then you probably need to have your guitar adjusted. I would definitely recommend taking it to a tech that you trust. Or, and I would actually, speaking of techs, what I would do, if you have a friend who's more knowledgeable than you, locally, like a local friend, because you're talking about, you're going to take it to a local tech.
Right.
So find a guitar player that they know their stuff, then ask them who to go to. Because I've had experiences before where I took my guitar to a certain store, and I was like, hey, I need this fixed. Okay, great. And they did all this stuff, charged me a fair amount of money, didn't solve the problem. And I went to them out of convenience because it was close. In the back of my mind, I knew I should have gone to this other guy. Ended up having to go to the other guy anyway to get it straightened out, and they straightened it out, no problem, and charged me way less. So not every tech is the same.
Right.
So, but the best way to find that out if you don't know, ask someone who knows, or ask someone who's more experienced, because they've probably come across that same situation.
Sure. I'm actually glad you said that, because one of the big tips that I have been recommending throughout these videos, if you've been on the letsjam.com website and are watching all of my beginner basics videos, one of the things that I do recommend, especially buying acoustic or electric guitars, is to take a friend with you that is knowledgeable. Having a knowledgeable player in your life whenever you're getting in is, I think, outstanding advice.
Yeah.
And even with strings, that's
Definitely does.
yeah, definitely think. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for
welcome.
your time today. I appreciate you taking up some time to chat with my 22 subscribers.
Awesome. Always a pleasure.
And man, look forward to putting this thing on YouTube. And
Yeah, me too.
yeah, going from
I'm
there.
looking forward to seeing how it gets edited. I think what we're going to do is like Tim's shooting a video. I'm shooting a video.
That's right.
And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. I'm going to let Tim upload his first and let it go for a while, I think. And then I'll upload mine. Because you'll probably get yours edited before I do.
Maybe.
Because, well, yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
Who knows? But it'll be interesting to see if we cover the same ground or not cover the same ground. And in my video, you can link to Paching. Here's Tim's channel. I definitely recommend checking him out. He's got a lot of great advice and some great videos for beginners. Stuff that I didn't really think to cover, which is great. So you can check him out. If you're watching my video, go here to check out Tim's channel.
And if you're watching my video, you can go there to check out Ryan's.
How about that?
Yep. And you can always go to letsjamguitar.com, and I'll be putting a link to RNA on that as well. So
Awesome.
so good stuff. Well, man, thanks again.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Enjoyed it.
And rock on.
Keep the music alive.
We'll see you next time.
I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Excited
you.
about the new Star Wars?
So-so.
Maybe.
So-so.
Trepidatious.
I'm not a J.J. Abrams fan.
Ah.
Didn't really care for what he did with the Star Trek stuff. Loved Super 8.
Yeah.
But I liked it because it was nostalgic of the 1980s stuff that I grew up with, like the Goonies and.
I haven't watched Super 8. I did watch Cloverfield though.
Okay.
I kind of liked it. I think.
Yeah.
I remember it'll be interesting.
If
I was confused for a second. I thought J.J. Abrams was was Michael Bay.
Oh.
Like I get them confused sometimes. I'm like, Michael Bay's doing Star Wars. Oh crap. But then I'm like, oh no wait, no it's the other guy. I'm like, could be interesting. I kind of liked the Star Trek movies. I'm not a massive Trekkie.
Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, it's okay. Parts of it were a bit odd because I remember watching the originals.
Right.
Like you can't mess with the time, but they did. And
Yeah.
the old one, I don't know.
I felt like it was.
I liked Benedict Cumberbatch's Khan though.
Yeah. My take on the Star Trek was just that it was very clear. Huh?
I'm gonna put this in there.
You put this in there? Yeah, at the very end. Well, my take on the Star Trek was simply this. He was just rewriting the entire script so that he could tell the stories he wanted to tell using the characters from the Star Trek universe. That's not really classic Star Trek. Star Trek is about exploration, although they don't ever really go to a star. They always go to planets and stuff.
I know. They're trekking across stars. Star trekking across the universe. They're always going forward.
Almost never in reverse.
Never in reverse. Strings!